everyone, I am Shahan Laik and today we will discuss about the cardiac pathology. The first one is ischemic heart disease. This is a heart disease that is due to ischemia and it causes are actually due to decrease in the blood flow system. Now the first important thing is angina. Angina is a chest pain. And you know there are two types of angina. One is stable angina, another is unstable angina. Now stable angina is actually the chest pain, and this can be due to emotional stresses and generally due to atherosclerosis when there is greater than 70% stenosis, decrease in the blood flow that does not meet the metabolic demand of the myocardium, and represent reversible injury. Always remember, reversible injury. Chest pain lies less than 20 minutes. EKG will show ST segment depression and relief by rest on nitroglycerin. In case of the unstable angina, that is actually the incomplete occlusion of coronary artery, atherosclerotic plaque with thrombosis. EKG is also same, ST segment depression, and also the reversible injury to myocytes and relieved by nitroglycerin, the same thing, and high risk of progression to MI. The next one is the Prinzmetal angina, which I have already a video. You can watch it. Prinzmetal angina. In our clinical anatomy series, we have myocardial infarction video. You can watch that, where we discuss about the Prinzmetal angina. This is the only angina where we can see the ST segment elevation due to transmural ischemia, and it is actually due to coronary artery vasospasm, and this is also relieved by nitroglycerin or calcium channel blockers. The next one is MI, which we have video in our playlist clinical anatomy series. You can go and watch. It is actually necrosis of cardiac myocytes, and actually the rupture of atherosclerotic plaque occurs and complete occlusion of coronary artery will occur. Now generally these are the types in which MI can be divided. The first one is actually the occlusion of LAD, left anterior descending artery infarction, and this is due to occlusion of this LAD will lead to anterior wall infarction. Occlusion of right coronary artery will actually infarction of posterior wall, and occlusion of left circumflex artery will lead to infarction of lateral wall. So these are the points which you need to remember. Laboratory tests are very important. Like the first important marker is troponin 1. Troponin 1 is very sensitive and specific gold standard marker for MI. Another is CKMB. CKMB is creatine kinase MB. Treatment is done with the help of aspirin or heparin that limits the thrombosis, supplemented O2 that minimize the ischemia, nitrates vasodilate the vein and the coronary arteries, beta blockers that slow the heart rate, and another one is ACE inhibitor that decrease the left ventricular dilation. Another is fibrinolysis, that is angioplasty that opens the blocked vessels. The next one which we will discuss is sudden cardiac death. In sudden cardiac death, there is unexpected death due to cardiac disease without symptom, or if symptom occurs, that occurs within 1 hour of the symptom has arising, death will occur. And mostly the cause is ischemia. 90% of the patient has atherosclerosis. The next one is chronic ischemic heart disease. This is poor myocardial function will arise due to chronic ischemic disease. The next one is congestive heart failure. This is generally a pump failure that is divided into right and left-sided failure. Left-sided heart failure. In case of the left-sided heart failure, this include ischemia, hypertension, dilated cardiomyopathy, myocardial infarction, restricted cardiomyopathy. Clinical features can be the left-sided are generally clinically presented because of the pulmonary congestion for the pulmonary edema, and the patient comes with dyspnea, paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea, orthopnea, crackles, and also small capillaries get busted, and because of that you can get hemosiderin laden macrophages, that is heart failure cells, okay, in left-sided heart failure I am talking about. And also decreased flow to kidney leads to activation of RAS system. Next one is the right-sided heart failure, and in case of the right-sided heart failure, this is generally occurred due to left-sided heart failure and generally due to chronic lung disease called pulmonary. The next one is clinical features due to congestion, like you can find it in right-sided heart failure, you can find jugular venous distension, painful hepatosplenomegaly, and nutmeg liver. Nutmeg liver you can find, and also pitting edema, dependent pitting edema. Let me show you something. That is, this one is the hemosiderin laden macrophages, and this is the nutmeg liver that can be found in congestive heart failure and generally in right-sided. And this one, hemosiderin laden macrophages, this can be found in left-sided. The next one is this one, that is the boot-shaped heart, and generally in boot-shaped heart can be found in TOF, tetralogy of Fallot. Okay, now the next thing which we will discuss is this one, that is congenital defects. The first one is a VSD, ventricular septum defect. You can see generally it is actually the septum defect that divides the right and the left ventricles, and most common in the congenital heart defect, and also fetal alcohol syndrome, also known as this, and left to right shunt can be found in it. The next one is the atrial septal defect. In atrial septal defect, you can find that the septum that divides the right and the left atria that has defected, and generally in 90% of the cases, ostium secundum is defected. Ostium primum is affected with the Down syndrome, and left to right shunt can be found, and split of the S2 can be found. The next one is the PDA, patent ductus arteriosus. In case of patent ductus arteriosus, patent means open, and ductus arteriosus are actually a channel that connects the aorta and pulmonary artery. And here left to right shunt occurs, and generally you can see a murmur, and this is known as machine-like murmur in the patient, and also you can find out the lower extremity cyanosis. So treatment involved this one, that is indomethacin. Indomethacin is a medicine that helps to decrease PGE, because PGE maintains the patency of ductus arteriosus. The next one is tetralogy of Fallot. Those who have not watched my anatomy, clinical anatomy series, you go and watch tetralogy of Fallot. We have a separate video on this. Now here I will say the classical characteristics of TOF, tetralogy of Fallot. Generally it has stenosis of right ventricular outflow tract, right ventricular hypertrophy, VSD, ventricular septal defect, and aorta that overrides VSD, overriding aorta. So these are the four tetralogy of Fallot characteristics. The next one is the right to left shunt. Always remember, in TOF is special because here we can find right to left shunt and we can see cyanosis. And X-ray is very special, boot-shaped heart. The next one is transposition of great vessels. There is also a video in my channel for in the clinical anatomy series of transposition of great vessels. You can watch that. Actually, the pulmonary artery and the aorta has transposition, change their position. Like in pulmonary artery, which should be from the right ventricle, that starts from the left ventricle, and aorta, which should start from the left ventricle, will start from right ventricle. So this is transposition of great vessels, and generally it is associated with maternal diabetes. Okay. The next one is the truncus arteriosus. Truncus arteriosus is a single large vessel that arises from both the ventricles. So truncus has the failure to divide and present with early cyanosis. Deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle and oxygenated blood from the left ventricle will mix up. Next one is tricuspid atresia. In tricuspid atresia, tricuspid valve orifice fails to develop properly, and this led to right ventricular hypoplasticity. And also this is associated with ASD. The next one is the coarctation of aorta. In coarctation of aorta means narrowing of aorta. Coarctation of aorta means narrowing of aorta, and that can be of two types, either infantile or adult form. In infantile form, it is associated with the PDA, patent ductus arteriosus, and coarctation always lies distal to the arch of aorta and proximal to PDA. Now generally in the infants we can find extremity cyanosis and associated with Turner syndrome. In adult, it can be present with hypertension in the upper extremities and hypotension or lower pulse in the lower extremity. And collateral circulation developed in case of the adult form of coarctation of aorta, and generally it is found notching of ribs in X-ray. This is a classical features associated with bicuspid aortic valve.